You are watching Money Talk with Atiya Harris, here to empower you with information regarding all your financial needs. Tune in every week for the best common sense financial information in the nation. Money Talk with Atiya Harris. Thank you for tuning in to Money Talk with Atiya Harris. It's a pleasure to have you watching the program here today. I have an awesome guest here with me, John McEntre, who's a super entrepreneur in the area, real estate investor, realtor, father, husband. I can go on and on and on about the great things regarding this individual. And he is a financial expert as well. So we're going to start with a little bit of his background in more detail on what he would like to share, and then we're going to give you some basic tips on managing money. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Tia. How are you? Thank you for having me on before we even get started.
Okay, all right. So is there some other things you want to share about your background? You're doing some great things in the city right now, Charlotte and surrounding areas. What are you doing?
Basically focusing on being a father, trying to be a good father and a husband, number one, right? But background, I like to tell people, not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I mean, it wasn't wood, but it wasn't silver either, you know. But I come from sort of like cruising financially, and you and I, we've talked about that if you cruise too long, you're really going down. You just don't feel it. But just one day I just happened to wake up and just realize that, hey, I need to stop cruising. I could be doing a lot more with my money. You know, I made quite a bit of money early in life, and I wasted quite a bit of money. And I'm not going to say I didn't have fun.
Well, good thing we're talking about money management tips right now, right?
Right. So yeah, I've been to the school of hard knocks, self-taught money management, and so as I learned, I began to share it, and so there we are.
All right, so let's talk about some of the venues that you're sharing it in right now.
Well, I have a television show. As you know, you've been a guest on there. John McEntre Show. It airs on the local access on Channel 21 on Friday nights at 10 a.m. And a lot of speaking. I've spoken in probably 70% of the churches of Charlotte and surrounding areas. A lot of workshops, seminars, home buying workshops. You and I, we did a home buyers workshop once, and I did the financial part of it. So I've done my share of speaking, teaching, and personal coaching. So if someone wants to reach out to you based off of some of the information we delivered today and things that you mentioned to come out and do a workshop or seminar, are you still available? Yes, I do one-on-one. I actually enjoy working one-on-one because that's when you can really, delve into it. I do a lot of group also, but I enjoy the one-on-one. I'm very limited on how much I can do, but when we sit down to look at a person's finances, we're basically, unpacking their life, because we all know most people will talk more. They will talk about their relationships, sex, food, and everything way before they would talk about their money.
And that's why we're trying to change that today, because that money is very, very important. It does make the world go round, and we can't change that. So let's talk about some basic management tips. Like you mentioned, getting into money, and then all of a sudden you spend it. That's going to be the next segment after this, windfall money, how you manage lump sums that come your way. But some basic management tips, because I've seen a number of credit reports. Being a loan officer at one time for 11 years, fellow real estate agent with you now for 8 or 9 years. I've seen a lot of credit, and I've seen most people have credit issues and very few don't. So where are we going wrong? What are some basic money management tips that you can share where folks can start tightening things up today?
Right. Number one is basically, you touched on it when you say you've looked at quite a few credit scores and everything. Well, credit reports, I'm sorry. Most people don't even know where they are credit-wise. They don't know where they are financially or anything. So the number one, you have to know where you are. You really have to know where you are financially before you can set goals, because I've seen quite a few people say, you know, I would like to, you know, buy a home at the end of the year. So, okay, well, how much do you have saved? How much do you have in investments? How much? And they don't have any, right, they don't have any answers. And so I like to use the analogy of, we're in Charlotte and we know that Asheville is west of here. Okay, so if someone asked me directions, called me on the phone, and I did not know where they were, or you called me, I called you and said, Atiya, I want to go to Asheville, what would your first question be to me?
Do you know
where are you?
Signs,
well, where are you first? I don't know where you are, so tell me where you are. And then I will say, well, I'm in Charlotte. Oh, okay, so if you're in Charlotte, you need to start west. Where most people are wanting to go to Asheville, but they're headed towards Fayetteville. You know, to the east. So number one is just understanding where you are. So you have to, you know, you have to just take inventory of what you have.
Well, I think that's key. So just before we go to commercial break, we will give everyone a website where they can get their credit reports for free. Once a year.
Free is good,
you know,
right?
all 3 reports. All right. So you have to know where you are. Then when you find out where you are, what's the next step?
Understood. Set a goal. Where do you want to go? You know, just like we were saying, okay, I'm in Charlotte.
800 credit score.
But right, exactly. That's a goal. I want to have, for instance, I want to have my child's college fund funded in, you know, halfway there in 10 years, by the time they're 10 years old. Or I would like to buy a home in a year or 2 years. You know, we set short, mid-range, and long-term goals. Short goals keep you motivated. Mid-range, you know, you've built some wins, and then that long-range vision may be a retirement home, or I may want to move, you know, to an island. Like you were saying, you're going to buy half of the Caribbean one day.
Oh, really?
You know, yeah, that's a vision. Yes, I will work for you. I already said I'm not going to retire from work because I'll be working for Atiya when I get older.
Okay, all right. So now we have our goals set. So a game plan has to go into place. What's a good template for a game plan?
A game plan, first of all, paying yourself first. Most people miss that one. They miss paying themselves, that dime off the top. You know, and that's beyond saving. This is for something else. It's not even a rainy day fund. That's just from here on out, I will pay myself first. And it is a form of investing, because you think about it, if, you know, a person is 20 years old and they start with 10% off the top, they will have more, and we know this is the law of compounding interest. If they did that for 10 years from age 20 to 30, they would actually have more money than if someone started at 40 and did it for 20 years. You know, so right off the gate, you're on a good path just by doing the dime off the dollar.
I think that's great. And also budgeting, I think is a great thing as
That's
well.
part of your budgeting, right? That is the part, that's the first part of budgeting. But then you have to understand where you are, and then you have to know, okay, well, these are my expenses. I know what my expenses are. I know what my income is, and then you have to judge accordingly. I'm not one of those, unless a person just needs it. Not that overly strict budget.
All right, well, we're going to continue this when we come back from the commercial break. You're watching Money Talk with Atiya Harris. That website to get your credit reports for free once a year is www.annualcreditreport.com. Stay tuned.
The Affordable Care Act has had over 7 million people sign up for it this year alone. One of the biggest things is that people are saving money for themselves, for their families, and for their future. By doing this, you want to make sure that you understand how the plan works for you. So definitely feel free to give Mondes Thomas a call with American Life and Health Services, and we'll go over all of your various options with you. My phone number is 704-728-5075. If you have any questions, no matter how big or small, I'll be glad to answer them for you.
If you're in the market for an electrical service, then look no further. Almighty Electrical Installations will get the job done. They are licensed, bonded, and insured. With over 18 years of experience, they know how to get the job done fast, affordable, effective, and professionally. They do new construction electrical rewiring, panel change out, bathroom lighting, kitchen lighting, custom home and industrial lighting, upgrades, entertainment center, and much, much more. Almighty Electrical Installations. Turn us on, 704-712-6536. That's 704-712-6536.
Are you tired of being sick? Try our amazing alkaline water. Come visit us at the Water Depot, 3312 Highway 21, Unit 102, Fort Mill, South Carolina 29715, or visit us online at DonnaRitchie.com or unforgettablewater.com. Change your water, change your health.
It's summertime and the sun is beaming on high. Are you protecting your skin from harmful sun exposure? This is Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Charlotte, with protection and nourishment for your skin when you're out enjoying the sunshine. Oneness by Shifa Golden Raw Soft and Creamy Shea Butter with Elixir Formula protects your skin from harmful rays, soothes burns, and peeling. Don't risk your health by using toxic commercial sunscreens. Instead, use Oneness by Shifa natural toxin-free, soft and creamy golden raw shea butter with Elixir Formula. To order yours, go to onenessbyshifa.com.
Welcome back to Money Talk with Atiya Harris. John McEntre, financial expert, is my guest today, and we're going to talk about windfall money. And if any of you guys have some lump sums of money that you want to fall on me, I'll be more than glad to take that money because I need some windfall money. I haven't found that yet. Okay, so John, first, what's the definition of windfall money?
Windfall money is a large amount of money that you receive unexpectedly. Or sometimes if, a lottery winner, they buy the lottery ticket and they hope to win. And it's just a large amount. Most of the times I've seen it with inheritances and, you have maybe accidental deaths. I've seen quite a bit. Then you have the classic, the athlete that comes from a poor, maybe from poverty or whatever, very good in sports, signed a contract, there you go, they're multimillionaires. And they've been given all of this money and now they're just released to go do whatever they want to with it.
And this is where money can actually become a problem, especially if you're a person that's not used to having lump sums of cash and how to handle it. So I really look forward to the advice that you're going to give today on that. I had a friend, it was an NFL football player. When I met him, he was retired, and he told me this horrible story about how he came into all this money and somebody said, hey, let me help you invest, and he lost a lot of his money in investments. And one thing I asked him was, did you ever hear E&O insurance, errors and omission? And he did not, because he came from poverty, into money, and he didn't know some of the key things out there and things that were there to protect him. So when a person gets in a situation like that, we know that they can call on you to help give them a plan. But what are some of the first key things that you share with them?
We know that money is emotional, right? Money follows emotions. That's basically what controls the markets. It's fear and greed, and all of the emotions that's really controlled. And money follows values and behaviors first. How you behave with money is basically what money will do for you. Money it always moves, but it will only move for you personally. It will move differently from me because we handle money differently. So each person has to understand who they are. If you have some people, for instance, will receive a lot of money and they may have been already tight anyway with money. They'll just become tighter. Then you have the one that's the free spender. If they were already a free spender, they probably wasted $100. You give them $1 million, they're wasted also. And we've seen that, lottery winners, the percentage is very high for people that win the lottery and they're poor within 3 years. And because their behaviors did not change. So usually the first thing I tell people when they receive a lot of money, an extreme amount of money, is get themselves under control. Don't really, buy the basic necessities. I mean, if you were living under a bridge or whatever and you want a lot of money, sure, you want to get a place to stay. I wouldn't exactly go out and buy a place. I would just go get an apartment, get my basic necessities met, then take care of it as I learn. Because like you were saying, the reason why the person was taken advantage of because they were financially illiterate.
That's right.
And so that means if you're not financially literate, you're going to be at the mercy of the people that know what to do with money.
And I believe that he got robbed blind because of his ignorance. That time, which really wasn't his fault. It just was the environment that he was in. So it's good to know there's an individual like you that can address those issues, athletes, inheritances, lottery winners, and maybe they, struck a big deal and it was oil with a company.
Right,
yes. All of a sudden they struck oil.
I know personally, I remember moving from the country, rural area of North Carolina, in real estate, for instance. Where I'm from, you would consider living in a mansion if you bought a $100,000 house. So you can just imagine the first time I closed, and it was early in my career of moving to Charlotte when I sold my first $1 million property, and I made more money than I had, in that one transaction in less than 3 months. It took me less than 3 months to do it, than an entire year of working. A person that worked up there 40 hours a week all year, I made more money from that one transaction. That was like winning the lottery. So
what did you do? Was that when you first said, hey, I need to manage money? Because I know you come from a long line of entrepreneurs anyhow that are very successful. So was you accustomed to that when it came, or you was like, hey, wait a minute, what do I do?
I was used to it, but I still made that call because it was still, I could still feel something like,
I want a boat.
Yeah.
I want $1 million house. Can I get some horses?
Right. I want to hide. I didn't want anyone knowing. I only told one person. The first big one that I did, I only told one person, and he's the closest person to me, and he could handle it because he had made that type of money himself, and he was like, "That's good for you." And he said, "That's real good. Just calm down. It's okay." And I was like, "Wow." And then as I met more people and got to talking to them, they were, I had one guy, he became a partner in his firm, came from the Midwest, struggled entire life, parents struggled. He became fastest partner in his firm's history, and went from basically $15,000 a year to a little bit over $35,000 a month net.
Now that is a big difference. And
he was stressed, and he had spent the money, and he was buying friends and buying everything. And we talked, and I said, "Look, you don't need the boats. Wow, you work all the time. Your friends are enjoying them, and then most of them aren't your friends. You don't even know half of them." And he got rid of the cars. He, sold stuff. He took care of his parents, and he was happy after that because he had all this money, and it was basically feeling it. Because there's two money problems in the world usually. Not enough, and it can be too much. Because you don't know who to trust on either end, right?
Yeah, but when you have too much money, a lot of fake people come around you. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish who's real, who's not real, who has true.
Is the advisors, are the advisors good? And my family, I haven't seen this family member in 20 years, and all of a sudden they're calling me their close favorite cousin now, and I'm like, I don't know you.
And can I have $10,000?
Yeah, I have this business idea.
I need to pay for college. My kid has to go to college.
Right. Well, give me the Harvard money just in case. They may not get into Harvard, but I'll take it. Yeah, I'm good for it.
All right, so we want to let everybody know out there, if you're in a situation where you're coming into large sums of money that you're not used to, may not even be as large as what we mentioned here today, we still want you to reach out to Mr. McEntre, who is a financial professional, also fellow realtor in this area, and just sit down with him for a free one-on-one consultation so that he can help guide you, make sure you're saving some, investing some, and spending wisely. You're tuning in to Money Talk with Atiya Harris. Keep it locked right here. We're coming back with a segment of Health is Your Wealth.
It's summertime and the sun is beaming on high. Are you protecting your skin from harmful sun exposure? This is Shifa, the natural healing voice of the soul of Charlotte, with protection and nourishment for your skin when you're out enjoying the sunshine. Oneness by Shifa Golden Raw Soft and Creamy Shea Butter with Elixir Formula protects your skin from harmful rays, soothes burns, and peeling. Don't risk your health by using toxic commercial sunscreens. Instead, use Oneness by Shifa natural toxin-free, soft and creamy golden raw shea butter with Elixir Formula. To order yours, go to onenessbyshifa.com.
Affordable Care Act has had over 7 million people sign up for it this year alone. One of the biggest things is that people are saving money for themselves, for their families, and for their future. By doing this, you want to make sure that you understand how the plan works for you. So definitely feel free to give Mondes Thomas a call with Morrell Life and Health Services, and we'll go over all of your various options with you. My phone number is 704-728-5075. If you have any questions, no matter how big or small, I'll be glad to answer them for you.
If you're in the market for an electrical service, then look no further. Almighty Electrical Installations will get the job done. They are licensed, bonded, and insured. With over 18 years of experience, they know how to get the job done fast, affordable, effective, and professionally. They do new construction electrical rewiring, panel change out, bathroom lighting, kitchen lighting, custom home and industrial lighting, upgrades, entertainment center, and much, much more. Almighty Electrical Installations. Turn us on 704-712-6536. That's 704-712-6536.
You're watching Money Talk with Atiya Harris. Right now, we're rolling into a segment of Health is Your Wealth. Of course, if you're not careful on what you're eating, if you're not exercising, the body is designed to break down, but it can break down faster. So we have a fitness expert here in the studio with us today, Miss Fit One, and today we're going to kind of talk to you about that belly. That's what we're going to address today, that belly, because many people have them, not only men, but women have them. Men can get away with them easier. Women, you're like, hey, get it tighter. But truthfully, it goes for both sexes. So here to give us some tips on slimming down that belly fat is Elizabeth Morrell, Miss Fit One. How you doing today, Elizabeth?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing excellent. Now, you have a ton of other titles. You want to share those?
Oh, well, I'm a certified personal trainer as well as a nutritionist. So I am doing everything, radio, TV, you know.
All right, so your claim to fame is the fact that you wore a size 24 and without any surgeries and exercising, you are where you are today,
right, which
your waist is a 00. So
not my waist, my size.
Your size, okay. What's your waist then?
My waist is a 24, 22, 24. So
okay.
When I buy clothes size 24 waist.
All right. Well, all I know is 00. As far as I'm concerned, it's a 00.
Yes. That's what it is.
Because you never hear anyone say, hey, I wear 00, which means that you're now going to specialty stores in order to find clothing. Maybe you're going to the kiddie section. I don't know.
I'm about sick of Tinkerbell. But you know, I think it's really funny because you talked about it best. The question that you're asking when you were saying about the belly, losing that belly fat, that is like my number one question. I get that all the time. And it's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Well, I've heard all kind of crazy tips like do crunches, do sit-ups, eat sunflower seeds. If you eat a lot of sunflower seeds, it's burn belly fat. Eat some grapefruit.
I know you got a lot more. Come on.
Stand on top of your head.
Yeah.
Let me go in that way.
Don't eat after a certain. How many?
Don't eat after 7. Don't eat after 7.
Why?
You can't eat after 7.
Girl, okay. Clarify it all. Here it is. Here's your first tip. Easy. You ready? I know it's gonna shock you.
Okay, I'm ready. Give it to us.
It's easy. It's just basically changing your eating portions and what you eat.
Okay, so what if you have a person that is like really, really hungry?
So this is what you do. Instead of eating 3 times a day, because most people think you have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, right? I would like you to eat at least 5 to 6 times a day. That's the number one thing. Eat more often, just smaller amounts.
Okay, so when you say smaller amounts, is that like 1 piece of salmon for breakfast?
Absolutely no.
Is it like, and 3 hours later you have a muffin? I mean,
no. So
you starving us?
No. You're eating much more now. So you're gonna eat 5 to 6 meals a day. Every time you eat, I want a combo. All right. So remember a combo, and I'm not talking about fries and shakes. Not that combo. I want protein and carb combo. Every time you eat, a protein and carb. Just think combo and you're good. So when you eat, I recommend buying a lunch-size plates. You know those? Not the saucers, not the dinner plates. It's a lunch-size plate. So because I eat up a lunch-size plate, and I have been for, I don't know, for the last, that's how I eat. And it's a regular portion of your protein is about the palm of your hand. So you want your protein, which is, you could have chicken, fish, whatever you want. And that's the size of your hand. And you want your carbs, yes, carbs.
I heard those were bad.
You heard that was bad?
Yeah.
We all need our carbs. Now it depends on what kind of carb. I'm not talking about going.
So
out
what's the
getting
good
white.
carbs?
The good carbs is your vegetables. Vegetables are carbs. Your fruit are carbs. Don't you eat those?
Yes.
See, you're eating your carbs. Now
I'm thinking of rice and potatoes and pasta.
rice and potato. Right. Now you want to eat that. Don't eat white. You know, white is not what you want to eat. So you want to have the stuff that is brown. Your wheat based. So you can eat brown rice. You could do wheat bread. But it's just about tweaking things. And you're going to eat really, and I believe in eating.
So red potatoes would be better than white potatoes?
Absolutely.
Okay, iceberg lettuce versus green leaf. Get the green leaf.
Green, right.
Okay, so everything with color.
Your plate should look colorful. You should have a lot. You should be happy to eat off of your plate because it's alive and vibrant, and that's how your body will respond to it.
All right, now one tip that you told me off television is that you really don't do too many sauces. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
I'm not a sauce person, so I don't eat any sauces. So when I make for instance, pasta, I eat wheat pasta. I just make my own sauce. And my sauce is very easy. I love like olive oil as well as lemon and vinegar. And you can
something light.
It's very light and it's delicious. You guys, please, like when you go to a restaurant and everything on the menu is always some sort of sauce. You can get salmon with lobster sauce or whatever. How about you just get the salmon and it forces the chef to really make a nice piece of fish, because usually they drown everything out with the sauce because that's really all you're tasting. But if you just get your salmon nicely seasoned, grill it, heaven.
So you are actually new to this area, and you're doing fitness training in Charlotte and surrounding areas, currently living up on the lake.
Yeah.
And I would love for folks to connect with you that really want to transform their body. And maybe they could be petite as well, but they want to tone it up and get that fit look, but also get healthy, because you have many recipes and things that you can share with them. So
Absolutely.
How can they reach out to you?
Easy. Call me, girl. Call me. You can call me at 704-608, what is my number? 8949. So it's 704-608-8949.
Yeah, and I can't express enough that this is a season for everyone to be taking care of their health.
Absolutely.
There's a lot of garbage on the market. We've been trained a bad way in preparing our foods, many of us. And some of the things that we're eating is genetically modified. Folks don't even know what that term is.
Right.
Frankenfood, which they need to Google these things. They don't even know what those terms are.
Right.
So to have a person like you come in their life and say, hey, this is the way you should eat. This is the way you should exercise. This is the way you're going to stay fit, which could prevent diabetes, high blood pressure, and all other kind of diseases that can set in the body. So I would love folks to reach out to you, and I thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
We appreciate you for watching Money Talk with Atiya Harris. Tune in next week, same time, same place. And do believe health is your wealth.
Money, 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 money.